could your AI music get deleted from stores? Specifically, is it possible, or is it happening, that different stores like Spotify and more, and even distributors like DistroKid are taking down AI music without saying anything? Actually, potentially, and I believe this is not only going to continue to happen, but it might even get more popular and more prevalent. Now, I got this comment from AlbiTK3YJ, and they said, all my 15 AI songs on DistroKid has been deleted without any notification. My artist profile was very small, only 2 listeners, so probably no one has noticed that it was AI music, but maybe there are some bots to search and destroy AI music everywhere. This type of comment, there's just one example, but I'm getting this comment a lot more with all these AI videos I've done, and also I've done a lot of videos about music distribution and a lot of videos about DistroKid. So if you look at like a Venn diagram, the intersection of AI music and releasing music is now getting way more popular, of releasing AI music, creating AI music with an AI music generator like Suno and Udio, putting it on Spotify, and in most cases, people want to make money from it, looking at it as a very easy, get-rich-quick type scheme, which, as a quick side note, the chance of you making legitimate money from AI music is unbelievably slim and incredibly unlikely. So I want to say that right in the beginning. And this video is going to be a blend of a lot of technical stuff you probably need to know, but also some fireside chat style perspectives of what I think is going to be happening with AI music in the future, and what you should probably know if you are releasing AI music. And even if you're not, this is something to be aware of, right? Now, I'm going to show you this one unique article from DistroKid. I want to stress, DistroKid has not really said anything about if you can or can't release AI music. Neither really has Spotify and other services, and I'll talk about that, at least I think, as to why in a second. But this is a unique thing I found. I've done a lot of research for all these videos. You can start here. Can I upload ASMR, white noise, or guided meditation on DistroKid? This is on DistroKid's FAQ, and they say no. Here's the main thing I want to show you, though. DistroKid is where solo musicians, bands, DJs, performers, and producers record music at home or in the studio. I want to show you that because here's where things get very vague and tricky. On one end, DistroKid has not come out and said, hey, no AI music, you can't release it. Absolutely no AI music. But also, DistroKid hasn't come out and said, hey, you can release AI music. If you want to do it, we'll give you the green flag, we'll give you the thumbs up, the green light, go for it. And that's where things get kind of annoying. And I can see for a lot of artists, especially for those who create AI music, being like, hey, I don't know what's going on, like this one commenter said. Here's what I think is going on. Again, this is now my perspective of what I know about music distribution and DistroKid. I've done, I think, probably close to 100 videos about DistroKid. I've done a lot of videos about music distribution. It's kind of cool. I know this channel has gone through a lot of different phases. I've done a lot of different types of content on this channel related to music, like music production tutorials and more. But I find this channel, the main thing people really like is distribution, because it is complicated. And after a decade of me learning everything on my own, of a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hardship, I've learned a lot. And I've helped out a lot of musicians via distribution. And I want to say that this is coming from my expertise as someone who's been coaching a lot of musicians. I've done all these videos, but also I have to stress on the other end, I don't work for DistroKid. I don't work for any distributor. I have no affiliation with them per se. Like, this is just me kind of talking off the cusp and from my own perspectives of what I think is going on when I look at everything from a big picture meta perspective. And that is this. It is tough to police. I think that's what it comes down to. Because on one end, I think if stores have the choice, the option, I think, if I had to guess, stores would ban and block and delete AI music. If I had to guess, if someone forced me to say, hey, pick or choose, I'd say yes. I think if they have the option, and that's important for this video, the option, and I might even say the ability to delete, block, reject AI music, I think most distributors would. I think TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid, Ditto, Lander, all these different ones, I think would stop it. And I think Spotify, Apple Music, Rdio, Deezer would also take these AI music songs down. I actually think they would. But then, that being said, it brings up actually the more important question. Is not if they would, but how. How would they know if a song's AI or not? And this is, of course, a whole can of worms I've mentioned this before in other videos. It's almost like the music Turing test, where if I played you a song, would you be able to tell if it's AI or not? Would you be able to tell? And I hate to say it, at this point in time, most people, I'm going to say, would not be able to. Even if you've been into music for your entire life, even if you've been producing your entire life, which I've been into music pretty much my entire life, there are some songs I listen to that I genuinely, if I had to be honest, removing my ego from it, I probably would not be able to tell. And yes, I know some musicians say, oh no, I can clearly tell this is AI. You have to ask yourself, all right, and I hate to say it, very harsh question, are you saying that because you genuinely can tell? Or are you saying that because it kind of hurts your ego to realize, oh shoot, AI is getting good. AI is getting very good. The production of AI is getting good. The vocals still need some work, I'll be honest, but AI is getting pretty dang good that it is tough to tell. And especially, I think if you look at electronic, I think it has passed that Turing test, the music Turing test. I think electronic music, when it comes to production, if someone gave me 2 EDM songs, pick which one's AI, which one's a human, I probably would not be able to tell. I think when it comes to instrumentation and production, I might as well say that, it's tough to tell. At this point, I think it's impossible. I'm going to be honest. I don't think you could be able to. When it comes to vocals, I think that's the last piece of the puzzle. I've mentioned this in other videos that kind of showcase, okay, yeah, this is definitely AI. But anyway, with all that being said, it is tough to tell. Because, like, say someone puts your blood, sweat, and tears into a new album, they release it on DistroKid, and DistroKid says, oh, you know what? This is definitely AI. And they take it down. You might be like, wait a minute, this isn't AI. And DistroKid doesn't want to delete anybody's release that isn't an actual human-made thing. On the other end, it is kind of tough because DistroKid's like, all right, maybe DistroKid does want to take down AI music. And if they can tell, and Spotify can tell, they probably would want to, like I said earlier. I think the hard part is being able to tell. Now, there are different, I'm going to say, musical techniques or production techniques, or I might even use the word programming, I guess, techniques, that you could make I'm going to call like AI music thumbprint, where if you put it into some software, this kind of has to happen at the beginning, so I will say that, where like if you use Suno or UDO, they could use some tricks and techniques to put in a certain frequency, and there's a million different ways they could do this, where if you put it into another software, they say, oh yeah, we can detect because of this one frequency going for this many seconds at this one specific time, and blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like a musical thumbprint that you don't hear, but it's there in like the EQ spectrum or whatever. That's probably how I would do it if I was programming it. We can actually tell that Suno has put their Suno thumb stamp, or UDO has put their UDO thumb stamp on it, and therefore we can tell it's AI music, we're going to reject it. That is something that could potentially happen in the future. That maybe there becomes musical thumbprints that Suno and UDO put into the songs as they're being made, so that way when they get fed to DistroKid or get put on Spotify, they can detect based off the musical programming thumbprint aspects that it's AI music. But then again, this is going very deep down the rabbit hole. Who knows if, let's say, in the future, then if that starts becoming a thing, people will make programs to remove that thumbprint. Not that hard to do once you figure out what it is. I mean, I guess it depends. Again, we're getting into a very kind of like rabbit hole territory or Black Mirror territory, but as much of it seems like I'm rambling, this is kind of what's going on right now. And I think that's what's tricky about AI music. That is why, on one end, I've done a lot of videos about AI music. I think because people seem to like them. I didn't expect people like this many AI music videos that I've been doing, and it's been kind of fun. I think AI is very interesting. I am aggressively pessimistic, in case you're curious. If you look at a spectrum, I think AI is going to be like the death of us all. I hate to sound dark, but that's my honest perspective. More on the robot side of stuff, like iRobot, that kind of like movie type thing. But when it comes to AI music, it is interesting, right? And I'm intrigued by it. You know, I've made money from it. Like I said before, I personally have a DistroKid account, obviously, and I release music as a human, obviously, but I have also released music under my AI artist, The Infinite Lamb Chop. Those songs have not been taken down. Maybe someday they will. I'll be honest. Maybe someday they will. And I'm not going to lie, for me, if I had to be very honest and transparent in my videos, and in this video especially, sometimes it does worry me. Like, should I delete and take down my AI music under the Infinite Lamb Chop? Because even though I'm releasing it for fun, even if it gets deleted, I don't really care. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't care if it got taken down from stores. Would that affect my human releases? I mean, I don't know, but I would hate for, like, say, one day DistroKid to email me saying, hey, Mark, hate to say it, but yeah, we understand that you're a human musician and an AI artist, and you're releasing music under 2 different artists. Because stores block your AI music now, they're blocking everything you release, including your human music under your name for Chero. I would hate for that to happen, right? I would hate for that to happen. Again, there's maybe a 0.0001% chance of that happening, but it's not impossible in my opinion. Now, granted, I don't know. I'm purely now just talking from my perspectives of what I know about both distribution and music, and in this case, AI music as well, and AI music distribution. But it is a complicated thing. And I think if I had to guess, I think over time, stores will continue to crack down on it. I've done some videos about AI music earlier this year that they found that Spotify was actually taking down AI artists, right? And some of them were using bots to artificially boost their streams. That's a whole other thing, so I want to stress that. There was a big article that came out about one guy who made like millions from using bots to boost his music. That's a little different. But what I'm talking about is Spotify has found artists that are AI. Someone used an AI music generator, released a Sugar Honey Iced Tea load of music, put it on Spotify. If someone gets put on the release radar or one of those playlists that say, hey, check out these new songs, they find out it's actually AI and they take it down. But what's interesting is one thing you may notice throughout this video, as I've talked about DistroKid, this one comment, and other people talking about DistroKid taking down AI music, and Spotify doing that, they haven't said it. It's almost been like an unspoken thing. Like, we're taking it down. We're taking this AI music down, but we're not going to tell you we're doing it. We're not going to tell you why. We're not going to tell you how. We're also not going to explain how we figured out it was AI music in general in terms of the discovery of it. We're just taking it down. And the reason why is it is kind of this paradox of if they say no AI music, how do you know it's AI music or not, like I said? But if they say yes to AI music, you are deliberately and openly bringing up those floodgates for everyone to say, hey, well, they said it's okay now. Now we're going to flood the system with AI music. And I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I guarantee if I'm not a betting guy, I hate gambling, but if I were a gambler or if I had to bet, I'd bet money that in closed doors or behind closed doors, better way to word that, when it comes to like board meetings of Spotify and maybe the team of DistroKid, if I had to guess, just a guess, I wouldn't be surprised if they're already talking about this, being like, okay, we can't say yes to AI music because that's going to open up the floodgates. But we also can't say no because then how do we know if it's an AI or not? I mean, I've heard songs made by humans that kind of sounded a bit AI. Like if you look at like T-Pain, I think is an interesting example of this, a little bit different. But when you first listen to his songs, it's aggressive autotune. And T-Pain actually is a really good singer, in case you didn't know. Very good singer, but the whole very synthetic almost autotune, if I had worded like that. Like not just autotune in terms of pitch correction, but aggressive, computery sounding autotune. That kind of sounded a bit AI, right? But that's kind of his sound. So I guarantee if, like, say, I heard that or someone played that or whatever, it's like, well, how do you know if actually this was a human making it and they want that synthetic AI vocal effect, or the synthetic vocal effect? How do you know if that's a human doing it or just something as a result of AI? Again, this is where all these weird gray area questions come up. So for a lot of stores and services and distributors and platforms and blah, 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 I can see a lot of them saying, well, on the other end, yes, we can't say yes to AI music, but I also can't say no because we probably can't tell unless it comes from the back end of, like, say, Suno or Udio starting to put in thumbprints, for example, like a music thumbprint. Maybe then they could start detecting it and then using that as a thing, but until that happens, and if that happens, it is tough to tell. And again, like I said, you don't want to take down someone's song that is actually human made, that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into that release, but it's actually a human and they think it's AI. This is why it's so vague. And I know a bit of a fireside chat style video / a technical video, because also I am bringing up very important things to realize, but it really does come down to this. Yes, it's been fun to make all these videos about AI music. Like literally yesterday, I uploaded a video about how to create and release AI music in under 12 minutes. I literally just posted that video. And it is fun. It is interesting and everything. And I think so far, if I had to check, and I think I did, I think I made like $30 from my AI music. I guess $30 is $30, but you kind of get my drift that I feel like the whole AI music thing, as fun as it is, and as easy as it is, it's just not feasible, I think, long term. And I can see a lot of stores trying to crack down on it. I don't know how they're going to do it. I have a couple theories of how they could go about it. Like I said, thumbprinting is one of them, maybe some other things, but how are they going to do it? I don't know. Because it brings up this very important thing. There are two different types of AI artists. And this is important to understand for this video, I think more importantly than anything, that I've noticed. And this is both on the comments I've gotten on this channel. This is from friends, actually, and stuff like that. There are some people saying, hey, I'm an AI artist. They don't lie about it. They're like, hey, I made this using AI. I'm an AI artist. I'm releasing this on DistroKid. And maybe that's what's happening, why DistroKid is taking down those songs. Because they're like, hey, we know this is AI. Like, the person's come out and said it. They're not lying. For me, if DistroKid contacted me saying, hey, the Infinite Lamp Shop, did you make this music or is it AI? I'd be like, oh, it's AI. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. That being said, there's a whole other group of people that's getting a lot more popular, even if we might not hear about it, that are making songs with AI and pretending it's theirs. And I've seen this. I actually know people personally who've admitted this to me, saying, yeah, Mark, I'm a DJ. Ableton's really hard to learn. Or I'm really busy. I have a lot going on with gigs. I'm using AI to make my new house record. And when I release it, I pretend and I say, hey, check out my new record. I made this in Ableton. They didn't make Sugar Honey Iced Tea. They made nothing. They didn't make anything. They use AI and pretending like it's theirs. That group of people is a lot harder. Because if, like, say, DistroKid contacts them, they could say, yeah, I'm a human. Here's my ID. So DistroKid has verified me, for example, as an official artist, because I do release a lot. And they're starting to do this more to verify, are you an actual artist? It isn't that hard for someone to say, oh yeah, I'm Joe Schmo. My name is Joe Schmo. I release music under my artist name, Bob Smith, but I'm Joe Schmo. Bob Smith is my alias. Here's my ID. All this music I make, and I make it in Ableton. It's kind of tough because then will DistroKid go after them saying, hey, actually, we don't believe you. We don't believe you actually made this. We think AI made this, and you're pretending like it's you. And then it becomes, well, who's right? Is DistroKid being too pushy? Is that... This is where all these unanswered questions really come up. So you can see why for a video like this, why it's so long, there's so many different facets of this. There's so many different sides of this coin, not just a two-sided coin, but a multi-sided coin or whatever. Maybe not the best analogy, but there's a lot to this. There's a lot of tricky things to this. And then lastly, bringing up that thing, like I said, it's, I think, not easy, but pretty relatively easy to be like, okay, I can tell this AI artist isn't a person, or it's a person, but they're just using an AI music generator and they're emitting it, right? But it's a lot harder to tell if, let's say, someone pretends like they're making it and says, hey, this is my new song I just released. Watch me dance to the song. Or, you know, they put like a video of them DJing and then dropping it in a club and you're like, check out my new single. When really it wasn't there. It wasn't theirs per se. I guess you could argue who owns it. That's a whole other thing. But they just use an AI music generator, release it, and pretend like it's theirs. And then how do you police that? Especially on the side of people pretend like they made it in Ableton. They pretend like they produced it or sang it or wrote it or arranged it. A lot of unanswered questions. But I think at the end of the day, one thing holds true throughout this entire video, and that is this: make your own music. And I know a lot of people right now are doing AI music for fun. And I think doing it for fun is one thing, but be prepared. As far as I can tell, at the end of the day, it does seem like stores are heavily cracking down on it. I don't know how they're doing it or why, or their reasoning, or their perspective, or the technicalities of how they're doing it. They have not really explained, as far as I can see, anything specifically about this matter. They've kind of kept silent, and I can, like I said, I can see why. Like I explained throughout this video, I can see exactly why on both ends, while they haven't said anything. But regardless of that, they are definitely cracking down on it. That is true because I've seen more and more comments about people saying their music got taken down. I've seen more and more articles about people saying that Spotify's taken down this one AI artist that got popular, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what the landscape is going to be looking like for AI music and releasing AI music. But I can tell you one thing for certain is, however they're going to try to do it, and I think maybe they don't even know yet, stores and distributors are definitely finding and trying to find a way to crack down on AI music.